following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, this is Ken Gidge, and this is The Art of Politics, the only show of its type where there's a Republican and a Democrat, and of course, the Democrats are really good and the Republicans, well, I don't know. But I have, well, my partner in crime right here, and most of the time they do consider the crime, is Al Baldessaro.
The Democrats
Hello, Representative. How are you?
Just the Democrats consider
Oh,
it a
yeah,
crime.
by the way, I just thought we're in the mode, round sign. What do you think?
Well, very impressive. It looks like you want to play ball. You know?
I like that. And by the way, this is driving people crazy because I have on one side, this shines in the dark. So people are going down the, I always thought, why don't people do this? Simply because at night you really can't read the signs.
You know something, Ken? You've been up there how many terms now?
4. Heading for my 4th term.
You've done some good things. I have to admit that. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I won't lie. But anyways, you've worked with Bill O'Brien on some bills. You've worked with other Republicans.
Absolutely.
So you've crossed lines, which is good. And that's the way it should be.
And
so
correct.
I'm sure the people in your district recognize that and see that you're just not about a Democrat. You're about, your Republicans in your district too. And
well, there are, and I do have Republicans voting for me. And in fact, I think I have your uncle.
My uncle, well, he's a Democrat. Yeah, lives in Nashua.
Oh, is he funny?
Yeah, he don't like the idea that I seen the light and became a Republican.
Because he's a Democrat. Oh my, he's talking, and I said,
with his loud voice.
I do a show with a gentleman named Al Baldessaro. I'm Baldessaro. I'm Baldessaro. What? But you're a Democrat, and he's a. Oh boy, I'll tell you. You tell him, boy. I'm really upset at him. And then he goes into your uncle was the mayor of Cambridge.
My grandfather.
Grandfather was the mayor of Cambridge. Well, that's a big deal.
Right. Oh, my grandfather was in politics for 50 years. I mean, I think we talked about this before. Since I was 5 years old, I was sat at a table eating spaghetti with Tip O'Neill and Ted Kennedy, other Kennedys that were in my grandfather's yard. So I grew up as a Democrat. Then I learned how to spend my own money. I seen the Democrat lean more towards socialism
towards socialism.
Yes, the big government and want government in my home and then taking more money out of my pocket.
Right.
So I became a Republican.
And why is it every time Republicans say we want small government grows? For instance, your king is Reagan.
I don't have a king.
Oh yes.
No, I don't have a king.
King Reagan. And
some Democrats.
Why was it that his government?
Reagan too.
Why was it that his government grew? Why, when he finally left, the country owed more money? And yet everybody thinks he's a hero.
That's a simple question. Because Reagan's last 2 years, he had a Democrat House and he had a Democrat Senate. Just like George Bush. His last term, he had a Democrat Senate and a Democrat House. Who initiates the budget?
You don't want to talk about Bush because
where does the budget? Where does the budget start?
Where does the budget
when the
start?
president sends his budget, or just like the governor sends their budget, whose budget does it belong to now?
I'll tell you what. Let us just turn this back as if we were just
Can you
starting
answer my
the
question,
show.
the fact?
No. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Let's start the show as if we're turning it back. You gave me a compliment.
Yes.
And I appreciate it. And I've got to tell you, come on now. You voted even for a couple things that I
consider
voted
you
for.
a moderate Democrat.
Yes.
Okay, I do. I consider you. I don't consider you a far left wing nut, just like I don't consider myself a far right wing nut.
I am the only person, except for one other state representative, that got in a long time. Everyone, 363 people voted for our amendments, voted for the bill, 363. And that hasn't happened in about 10 years.
That's not
so
true.
we got all the Democrats.
That's not true. My
and we
veterans
got
bills
all the
always,
Republicans.
my veterans bills, I always get them high votes.
I know that, but you're not. Come on now.
I know. No, that was good.
I
have to admit, I
that's
stuck
not
with you.
fair.
I voted with you.
I know.
I voted with you.
This was an important bill because this had everything to do with changing all the corporate laws.
Right.
And like, we're the only ones. There's only 2 of us who read the whole 163 pages.
Right.
But
we actually dissected your bill, the HRA, looking at the different regulations and on businesses and other stuff. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, as you know, I'm one of the tri-chairs of the House Republican.
Oh yes.
Alliance.
Yes.
And we're a loud voice. We're the ones that take the fight to the floor.
Yes, that's right. And I was very surprised because I walked into Gardner's office and he was, look, he says, I can't remember this happening before. He says,
it was a good bill.
Even then people make mistakes. You want to press, it happens,
Right.
you want to press play. But let me make a point because I brought Reagan up. Let me make a point. You said that you sat down with Tip O'Neill.
From 5 years old on
and
up.
Kennedy.
Yes.
Well, good old Tip O'Neill used to go over to the White House for a couple, shots in the evening. The 2 Irishmen.
He was a typical Irishman.
Right.
He'd come and drank Sambuca with my grandfather.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there was a talk between the Republicans and the Democrats. Tip O'Neill and Reagan. Tip O'Neill was a Democrat. Reagan was a Republican. But they got together.
Do you know where the Democrats
and that's
went
what
wrong?
this show does.
In my opinion, you know where the Democrats, where they lost me, was when Carter became the president. I was in the military, and I seen the damage he did to the military, the cuts. We had no money for training. We had no money for shooting.
Can we, before we,
that's
before
where I
we,
really.
I know, but before we
and
go,
I voted for Carter.
I know, but before we go to why you changed, let's stick a little with, we're doing a show with a Republican and a Democrat.
Yeah, that's the last time I checked. Yes, you're right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you. But also Reagan and Tip O'Neill got together.
They worked hand in hand. That's right.
You and I
Yes.
getting together. Bill O'Brien and a lot of other Republicans.
Look,
and in fact,
Kathleen Rogers. I mean, she'd tell me straight to my face. She's a far left liberal. Her and I worked on 2 bills that passed.
That's right.
And
Yes,
I worked.
and it was a
Matter
good
of fact,
bill.
the education bill that we did for the veterans. The compact.
That is correct.
I worked with Democrats on that compact bill.
But you see, it seems that we can get more done when their Democrats are running the place
No,
than
that's
what
not true.
we got done with the Republicans running the place.
See,
Well,
now
that
there
is-
you go.
That is
There
true.
you go. You're throwing in a dig there. We got more done under O'Brien than the House done under
And
Republicans
how
and Democrats.
many Democrats
in years.
voted with you guys?
Quite a few. Quite a few. Look at the bills. Look at the budget. Look at other stuff that happened. Look at the regulations in business, where we moved them from 50,000 to 100,000 so they can reinvest into their businesses
How
without
are we
being
going
taxed.
to get the Republicans
all
and
tried
the
to kill that bill.
Democrats to talk?
Didn't you always try to kill that? Didn't you try to kill that bill?
I'm not. I'm going to stick
The
where I
Democrats.
was because you're a Republican and you want to bring it someplace else. I want to
Okay.
stick to this.
All right, tell me what you
there
want to
are
stick to.
people out here. We're voting. See, here we're voting. Yeah, he's up. I'm up. Okay, we're
I'm
we're
running for my 5th term. I just came
How?
out #1. Yeah, just leave it there. Don't worry about
Jeez,
it.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, just leave it on the
he
ground.
jumped over towards
Yeah,
you.
I know.
It's a Republican. Boom.
Good thing I don't smoke anymore. I don't have my lighter.
Smoke coming
To see
up.
if it's flammable.
I can see those people
Yeah.
in that room next
No,
door.
but you know
Woo,
something?
woo,
Before
woo.
you say anything, I have to admit, we've worked hand in hand on many issues.
Yeah.
You know, except for spending issues, taxes and fees, we've worked on other issues. If
I'll tell you where O'Brien and you guys could have been the heroes. Instead of making, fools out of yourselves, and I'm being polite now.
Yeah, okay.
All right, let me finish.
Okay, yeah, because you see the mind thinking
I know
now.
that.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe fools rules was too strong. Where you guys made the mistake is this. If you would have just simply said, we're not going to raise for 2 years taxes at all.
Which we didn't. We didn't do that.
No, but what you turned around and said, we're gonna bring the taxes down, and the people who instead of taking it out of their pocket, they know a better way to spend it. But every time you guys did that up there, what happened was that the cities and towns got less money, and we down here had to.
How did you get? Tell me how you got less money. In what area? What area did you get less money? Cities and towns.
Well,
the Gatz's plan was the same plan that was used under the 4 years that you were there.
Pure and simple, we would have got more money if you guys wouldn't have lost $40 million on that stupid 10 cents off on a package of cigarettes.
Tell me where you would have got.
I just told you.
No. Tell me what line item.
No,
tell me what area did you not get more money?
Well, all right, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, we didn't get enough money, or as much as we should have. How about mental health?
Mental health. Okay. Now the commissioner is the one that made up his budget. He decided where the money's going to go. He put his budget in.
No.
He wanted $80 million more. We gave him $40 million more.
You turned
That's
around
a cut. You count that as a cut.
Said to the commissioner, "This is all the money you can have." Mm-hmm. He came in, and then you took some out. So and when it comes to mental health, we lost money on mental health down here in Nashua, and you cost us money.
Tell you what, since you brought up mental health, that's one area I wanted to go into. There was a bill that was passed
mental health
to get the
Are you still on your medication?
To get the sununu for juveniles with issues and other stuff there, and mental health clinics and other stuff. Okay, the governor vetoed the bill. It was a Senate bill. We realized that we closed the sununu. We realized we needed to open it back up, get more bed space and other stuff. Now, the governor vetoed the bill.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
And the juveniles was for what?
For criminals,
if people
mental issues,
had mental issues,
criminal,
if they had
issues,
drinking issues,
before they got into prison, it was to help them.
Well, it just happens I was on the Hillsborough County, and they came before us, and they said, our budget is $265,000. We're keeping kids out of jail. We're keeping people, which is obviously expensive. We're keeping kids who, instead of sending them to jail, we're getting them in on programs. Everything that you just said, the Republicans got rid of here in the Hillsborough County, and now you turn around and said you wanted to bring it back. How can you turn around and take it away, and on the same year you say you put it back?
Very simple.
Makes no sense.
No, yes, it does.
No.
Because you left the state with a $900 million deficit. The Republicans had to make some tough decisions because you took all this Obama money, put in all these programs, and you couldn't fund them.
You just asked me as if I didn't know where the money
was
coming, where we lost money with mental health, and I just told you, and you just agreed with it, but you said we didn't lose money from mental health?
You raised over 100 taxes on people, taxes and fees, over 100. Don't believe me, do a Google check. Okay, and look and see for yourself.
Do a Google.
You all raised taxes and fees. Now, to make up for that $900 million, were we to tax people more?
No, hold on. Are you forgetting? I mean, I occasionally have to remind you. Are you forgetting it was Bush administration?
Here we go with the Bush again.
2 wars.
Here we go with the Bush again. Where's Mike?
And wasn't it with the Bush administration where we turned into one of the worst financial crisis in the history, and you're a Republican, and you're saying you can do a better job?
Can I ask you something?
So.
When it was going bad under Bush, who was controlling the Senate and the House in Washington? Who controlled the purse strings in Washington under Bush? His last 2 years.
Oh, I see.
Wait,
so
who controlled it? Can you answer the question? Can you please answer the question before you go on?
No, all you guys wanted to do, and all you did is, we have to deregulate. We have
Who controls?
Listen, I'm in commerce, which is banking and insurance. You want to know what a derivative is?
Can you answer my question?
All right, you want to know what a derivative is?
Can you answer my question? Who controlled the House and the Senate the last 2 years that controlled the purse strings under Bush? Who did it?
I don't know.
You don't know. Well, I'll remind you, the Democrats.
So the Democrats were the ones who deregulated. Is this correct?
What I'm deregulated? What? No, the Dodd-Frank didn't deregulate.
No,
Dodd-Frank
deregulated.
put on big regulations on banks and everything.
You guys deregulated, and look at what happened
What
to
did we
us
deregulate?
financially.
Wait, tell me what we deregulated.
Well,
We had nothing to do with the
first of
Dodd-Frank.
all, would you like to go through? You want to know what a derivative is?
Tell us, what's a derivative? Tell us. Good, since you opened your
Far
mouth.
too complicated.
No, you opened
to
your mouth.
explain.
Tell us it.
It's too complicated, a derivative.
He must have learned that word today.
No, actually, I just
well, you know, the derivative forced the market to go up.
I
here
just
on-
finished
on-
the biography of Warren Buffett. Okay. And I believe I know what a derivative is. It's very complicated. It's simply, if you had you made trailers, okay, and you sold trailers like travel trailers. Now, if you sell these travel trailers and you finance it, basically you're on the hook for the money. Is that correct? It only makes sense that you are on the hook for the money. Well, somebody would come along and say, we will buy your note. So in other words, the people who sold the trailer can turn around, not worry about the banks not lending them money, because basically they don't owe that money anymore to the banks, or the people who have to pay the money back are no longer paying that.
That's what happened with mortgages.
So when you put those together and package those, and you start selling these bundles,
Tell me how the Republicans did that.
Derivatives.
Tell me where and when.
And what
Bring it up on your computer.
happens when is there derivative? Nobody is really responsible. And that's one of the reasons why there are people out here like myself who had about 3 or 4 separate people owning the mortgage on my house. Did that happen to you? Were you sitting around and all of a sudden a bank comes in and says, well, that's because it's a derivative.
Now,
they packaged it, they sold it, and now you're not paying the mortgage company back that you got it from, you're paying somebody else.
Can I stop you for a second?
You may.
George Bush, when he first became the president, he brought that up to Joe Biden, the issues that he's seen in the banking industry. Joe Biden is on record. He was on the news saying there are no problems. The banking is strong. Everything's under control.
Excuse me.
Yes, George Bush brought it up.
And you want to know something?
Biden was in charge.
It seems that Obama, no matter what he does, for instance, we'll go over something.
No, he plays golf good.
No.
He's a good golfer.
He can't seem to do anything right.
No, that's not true.
Although the country is getting better, things are looking better, especially here in New Hampshire. But of course, the Republicans won't say that.
I don't see it.
It's getting much better.
Then why is our economy behind Maine and Vermont?
And you're turning around and constantly saying, "Hey, guess what? The sky is falling." Well, guess what? Our president happens to be Obama, and he's there, and it seems like they're blaming him for everything. What do you expect when you're president of the United States and you've got your hands on the purse strings? What do you expect when you've got the Treasury and all those organizations, and you let things go? Shame on you.
Let's talk fact that just came out here in the last 5-6 months. Our economy is behind Maine and Vermont. We dropped drastically. For 10 years, we've had Democrat governors. We got one right now that's spending out of control who refused to give her numbers. Rumor has it, Medicaid expansion, $40 million over the budget. We didn't even budget because it wasn't supposed to cost us a dime. Now, rumor has it that they have already spent $100,000 into the second year of them, $100 million into the second budget.
Census poverty rate falls 1.3%. We are the second best in the United States for poverty falling. That doesn't mean there's poverty that there should.
What's the date on that article?
Pardon me?
What's the date on that article? I know, but what's the date?
2013.
2013. We're in 2014. You do know that, right?
Yes.
Okay. The census, you're right. That was under the Republican budget.
Right.
Go ahead. You're right. I agree with you. I'm agreeing with you. You're complimenting the
Excuse me,
Republicans.
2013, we're talking Democrat.
No, because you were living off of the Republican budget, Bill O'Brien's budget.
No,
2011,
no,
2012.
that's not how that happens. This works from
the Democrats' budget don't kick in until June of 2013. They voted in during January to June or whatever when we're in session. It kicks in June of 2013, 2014, 2015, June. So say thank you to the. I'm glad you brought that up. You think I'm the tri-chair of the House Republican Alliance because I don't know what I'm talking about?
You don't know what you're
I was
talking
voted in
about.
as my peers to be able to speak.
You know something?
Thank you for bringing that up.
You may get it. We're the second best in the United States. Wyoming is better than we are. And you want to know something? No matter what
Can I see that?
Get out
What was
of
the
there.
date of that
Don't touch
article?
that.
What was the date of that
Don't touch
article?
that. Get out of here. Okay. Hey,
What was the date of
don't
that
touch me.
article?
What
he's doing is complimenting.
You hit me. I'm suing him. Wait a minute.
What he's doing is complimenting William O'Brien's budget that put New Hampshire in a great position. Then the Democrats took over. Now we have a governor who's refusing to put out numbers. What happened to transparency within the Democrat Party?
You know, I don't know about you, but Maggie Hassan will be governor again. Jeanne Shaheen will be senator
How come the
again.
polls are showing,
and hopefully I will be representative again.
Why are the polls?
Because people are smarter than it's always raining in your life.
Just your
Everything
district.
is dark in
Just
your
your
life.
district,
No
huh?
matter what good you hear, no
How come my
matter what
district-
you see in
How come
front
my
of you,
district sees
it
things
is
different?
bad.
Yeah, but-
She's bad.
but you're complimenting-
Representatives are bad.
You're not
Get
being
your hand,
truthful.
Get your hand out of there. I'm
You're not
calling
being
you bad.
truthful. You're complimenting
Representatives
O'Brien.
are bad. It's raining outside. The sky is falling. Chicken Little. I'm sorry. You're a type of Republican who walks around in the sun with an umbrella over you, so it's always dark. Guess what? This is a pretty damn. You don't like this state? Go someplace else.
I never said I didn't like this
It's a
state. I
great
just said the
state.
state should be
It's a
doing a
great
lot
state
better.
to live in.
We should never step
How
on
could
people's
you do a
quality.
lot better?
Why can't you let me get a
After
word
the
in?
Republicans had screwed the whole thing up, or you think we
You
want to go
just
back to
proved
that?
right there that the Republicans did a great job in their 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, because that article was 2013.
You know what's very interesting, what you guys seem to forget? That we went through one of the greatest recessions in the history of this country. That means in the history of this state. And when the Democrats start bringing things up, especially in Washington, when Obama starts getting things going, guess what happens? Everything is getting better throughout the United States. The stock market is
Senator
up.
Reid.
The housing is up. The car sales are up. But these guys, they're in a rainstorm. Here, umbrella.
Okay. I hope
Here,
Nashua.
I
I hope Nashua's a lot. Can you give me a chance to speak? Can you give me a chance to say
go ahead.
something?
I wanted a shadow
I hope
over you.
people that watch this show do their own research, and they took a look at the housing market here in New Hampshire is down. It's dropped.
What are you kidding? What are you, nuts? In Nashua,
Do you know our business taxes were 48th in the country?
You walk into any real estate agency and you put a deposit down on a house, guess what?
You don't
there
get
are
it.
2 deposits,
You
3
don't-
deposits.
it don't
and
go
are
by
you
the-
turning and telling me
I'm telling you right now,
it's not working
the
well
numbers
here in New
that
Hampshire?
came out here in New Hampshire on our economy
It's not working?
last month, our numbers are down. Housing market is down.
I'll tell you what, this is where you're
You don't get it.
really
Do you read any of this stuff?
wrong.
Do you look at the numbers that come
really
from the LBO?
wrong. We can't build enough houses in the state of New Hampshire.
Then why are your taxes? Why are your property
we cannot
taxes so
build
high
them.
here in
And
Nashua?
you want to know something?
Why are
people who are not in housing are so
Why-
upset because the rents are going up.
If they're building so much here in New Hampshire, why is your property taxes going up every year? How come?
Republicans.
Oh, Republicans.
That's the only thing I can say.
Okay.
It's
All
gotta
right.
be
Yeah. Okay.
Republicans.
I mean, let's talk facts here. Why are property taxes going up every year? If more and more businesses are coming in and people are working and everything, that's not true. You're not being honest. We have more people unemployed, and those numbers are being hidden.
If you will go back, and I really wish you would, because this would be good, I think, for the Democrats and the Republicans, because I think we're going to agree with this. If it wasn't for the 2 wars that we were in, which is $2 trillion, our economy would be just
You still want to beat
fine.
that. You're still beating that.
If they didn't
You're
stop
still beating them.
deregulating, and by the way, the deregulating, you know when it
Can
started?
you tell me what was deregulated?
Do you know when it
No, wait,
just started?
first of all, can you tell the people watching what was deregulated?
Well, okay, I'll do better than that.
No.
Let's go back to derivatives.
What was deregulated? No, Dodd-Frank fixed all that stuff. The Dodd-Frank. They put on more regulation on the banking industry.
I can only tell you, okay, because
you say things and you got no facts to back them.
No, I have plenty of facts, and you know that.
Did the Dodd-Frank fix the banking and make it worse?
Question. Deregulation was the reason why the stock markets crashed. Deregulation was the main reason that the stock markets just went down.
6 years ago. This is 2014. We're not in 2008. We're in 2014.
Yes, but you don't seem to remember. Republicans don't seem to remember why we were in that place.
You know, how many years does it take Obama to do this here? He's had a Democrat-controlled Senate and House. His first 2 years or 4 years.
Let me see.
You know, come on.
Your Republicans left for vacation, and Republicans and Democrats who have loans for college could have refinanced those loans, but the Republicans didn't have time. They had to go home. Oh, and if you're out there, you're unemployed, you could have got another 20 weeks of unemployment checks, which, by the way, unemployment checks are used immediately. But the Republicans, they just had to go home.
Can I add something to that, what you just said? If you're sitting at home around the table and all of a sudden you want to get something nice to get it out there, but it's going to cost more money, do you put it on the credit card and pass it? Or do you maybe say, show us where we can cut to pay for this? Republicans, that's the way we think. I refuse to vote on something or kill it.
You can refinance your car. You can refinance your house.
Other reasons.
There are students, both Republicans and Democrats out there, who can't refinance their loans on their car.
Because the Democrats projected revenues off of the interest on those loans, spend that money already.
What you're doing is telling the people out there that they cannot refinance their loans?
What I'm telling the people out there,
because it takes money away? I thought that was taxes. You like taxes.
What I'm telling the people out there,
this man wants taxes.
No, you don't let them give me a chance to speak, okay? You keep throwing out BS. What I'm trying to say here is that the people, have to understand that before you do these cuts in the education, and I have over $100,000 in education loans that I want refinanced.
Education.
But the thing is, I understand that when they pass the bill and they take the loss on the money that they projected revenue for the country, they have to make it up somewhere else. Where do they make it up?
Okay, so
I want my loans refinanced.
Okay.
But I also look out for the good of the country.
Yeah, right. The good of the country happens to be students who have student loans who couldn't even refinance them. And you, in turn, say what?
I've got about $127,000 in student loans between two children.
Your argument is you can't refinance them for what?
My argument is that I want the government to take away somewhere, where when they cut that revenue source coming in, they have to make it up somewhere. You just can't all of a sudden cut something.
I'm really the wrong person to say that in front of, because if I remember correctly, we were talking about mental health. It was the great and wonderful Republicans who said, we're going to take a 10-cent tax off cigarettes because we're going to bring in more money. A loss of $40 million?
Okay,
Don't you think that could have been used for student loans?
Actually, we didn't just lose $40 million. Can I touch on that there? Were you going to let me speak?
Oh, we made money?
You're going to make? Yes, we did.
We made money.
Okay,
we didn't lose the $40 million.
Under the Bill O'Brien budget, yes, we might have lost some money there on the cigarette tax. But what
$40 million.
But what we gained in other areas with tourists, in restaurants, in gas tax, in hotel costs, campground. Yes, we did.
Campgrounds. I don't want to go to campgrounds with you again.
Because they come and spend money.
Listen, look, this guy doesn't want taxes. I understand that. But can you imagine owning a business?
That's not true.
Doing business and not paying any taxes on it.
That's not true.
It was the Republicans who said they should. People own.
How do you know I don't want taxes?
campgrounds
Can I-
who make money
See,
should
no,
not pay
he does
taxes
not give
on
anyone a
it.
chance to speak.
That's right.
How do
I
I?
do a pretty good
What
job
did I
at it,
say?
too.
Not that I don't want taxes, because I think we
Well,
have to
what
pay.
about the
Wait,
campgrounds?
I believe because
What
they
about the
bring they
campgrounds?
bring their own food. They go to restaurants.
All right,
They
okay.
get gas here.
So
we want to attract them to
people who
our state
earn
parks.
money by people coming up there shouldn't pay a tax?
They should not on the campground where they're bedding because it's already being taxed. You're double taxing.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that if I owned a business, a campground,
You're paying a
and
tax
somebody
already.
was paying me $250 a week to park my SUV there,
Mm-hmm.
right, that $250 should have no tax at all on it?
What the Democrats
Are you
wanted.
telling
I'm
me?
going to tell you. Wait, yes, I am.
So you took
won't
that
even let me-
tax
You don't
away.
even give me a chance to speak. I don't understand this. You run your mouth here on stuff there. You're not giving the whole truth. The campgrounds,
truth,
the
what?
campgrounds are being taxed under BET and BPT as a business.
what is
What is it? BET is our business
What
tax,
is it?
the
It sounds like
enterprise,
an alphabet
the
soup. Now, come on
enterprise
now.
tax and the BPT
no,
tax.
No.
Now, can you let me finish for a second before you?
No.
The businesses are already being taxed under commercial. Okay, the campgrounds.
What business?
The campgrounds
They're not being
Why don't you let me?
taxed.
Why don't you let me finish?
All right, okay, sorry.
Okay.
All right.
They're already being taxed for property. They're being taxed as a business. So now we want to double tax, triple tax them.
No, they're not being taxed as a business in the state
Yeah,
of
they
New
are. They're
Hampshire
registered- a campground is
because
registered
you
as a business.
guys took them out.
A campground
So they
is a
pay no
registered
taxes.
business. That's not true.
And
no,
you know,
that's not true. You're not telling the truth.
I think you're correct
Why
by
can't you tell
saying
the truth?
people should pay less taxes. But I think everyone out there thinks, I'm pretty sure, that anybody who has a business who, and by the way, these campgrounds are out in the sticks, a lot of them, so we take care of the roads here in Nashua.
And they pay taxes to that.
You know, with
Do those businesses pay
poles,
taxes?
the Wi-Fi, and all of that. And guess what? We pay for
Wait.
that up there, and they don't pay
that's
taxes
not true.
on that.
Wait, time out.
They don't pay taxes
The people
on
that got
that?
Wi-Fi in campgrounds, they're paying for it. Government isn't doing that. The people that have Comcast, they're paying for that internet, TV.
Why do you
Why
fall?
are you-
Why would you?
They're paying FCC taxes. They're paying.
I left Wi-Fi on the table because I wanted to just catch you. Now, all right. Now you're
It's out of control.
Okay,
They want to double tax and triple tax you. They're out of control.
you know something? You can argue about a lot
Can
of
I go
things,
back to-
but
you-
when
you
it
stopped me
comes
from saying
when it
something.
comes to the campgrounds,
We'll disagree.
you guys
We'll agree to disagree.
No. Hold on a second.
All right.
You guys, there was a very
You
small
guys.
tax for people going up. If you went up and you spent money at
It was only 9%,
place
small tax.
to park your SUV, and the campground person was making money, the state should at least get a little tiny tax out of that because everyone else is paying taxes.
Okay. Hey, let's talk
And
about a
you-
small tax. Talk
and
about a
you-
small tax.
And you want to know what they
Did
want
you
to use
vote for
that
the
tax
20
for, by the way?
Did you vote for the 25-cent
Hold it.
tax on the fuel oil?
Excuse me.
On heating oil?
Question. I know. Wait. What do you think they were using that tax money for, by the way?
Oh, they were for some of their pet projects.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
their pet.
like
It's making government bigger.
no, like taking care of the lakes. This money
No,
is
that's
used
not.
for.
I know. That's why they're taking it
This
from the gas.
money was being used
They're
to
stealing
to
from the
keep
gas tax.
boat launches
Your
updated.
Governor Lynch and the Democrats stole from the gas tax $38 million in 2010. You voted for the budget. You voted for that budget to steal $38
Listen,
million.
I'll tell you what. If everybody wants to turn around and go back to the way it was, and they're going to vote for Republicans, I don't think so. I think this is a pretty good country. I think this is a pretty good state.
I'm gonna
and
figure-
all I hear from Republicans is what?
No.
The governor's bad, the president's bad, the senators are bad, the congressmen are bad. Is there anything good? And when I show good here, right? Oh no, that
Because
wasn't
didn't give
you.
credit-
That's no good.
You didn't give the true credit where that article was about. I read that article a long while ago. You know what I mean? It was the Bill O'Brien that you should be thanking.
All right.
Can I run something else by? Did you first of all, the Republicans left I think it was over $80 million, $84 million surplus in their budget. So that $40 million.
And we are being
okay?
sued for $400 million.
Okay. Now,
Please.
Now, let me run something by you here. You all voted for a heating fuel oil 25 cents. One of the Democrats went to the floor and said it's only 25 cents. That's a 22.
I don't know
Wait,
where, you know.
I'm going to run it. Can you let me finish before you jump in again and we end up off in another direction?
I know, but have the truth.
I am going to give the truth. And then you can verify this yourself. The heating fuel oil they raised it 25 cents. It was for a fuel spill.
Not true.
We have, that 25 cents goes into this pot that the governor can dig in, okay, and to help out on any oil spills. Now, it's a sham, and the reason why I'm going to say it's a sham, if you let me finish, you can say your part. We have over $2 million in this fund to cover the state on any fuel oil spills. And then the insurance company reimburses us. Now, they said it's only 25 cents. If you have a 275-gallon, I'm going to go off the top of my head, that's either $68.75 or $67.75 per filling of the oil tank. That's how much it's going to cost each family.
First of all, you're not telling the truth.
Tell me how I'm not.
No, because it's not 25 cents a gallon.
25 cents?
No, it's not 25 cents a gallon.
Is it?
Heating oil as in oil or propane?
As in heating oil.
Well, okay,
Heating
it's just
oil.
heating
That's
oil.
what I said, heating oil.
That's not true.
Tell me why it's not
That's
true.
not,
Do you want me to look up the
because it's not
bill?
true. You may look up the bill if you want to.
Okay, go
Later.
ahead. Later.
We have to make, look, I got a good idea. You're correct. As we're only going to do a half-hour show because I'm like.
Yeah, your mind's not thinking you can't.
All right,
I think we should go the hour because you're doing all right with these lies.
We are. We've already passed.
I apologize. I didn't mean lies. Stretching the truth.
All right. Now,
not that I'd ever call you a liar.
I'm sure the people in the booth are going, will he shut up meeting me? All right?
Right.
All right. What would you like to talk about?
I'd like to talk. First of all, I know you were sick. You didn't make the veto session.
No, I really was.
Okay.
Oh, man, that was awful.
I mean,
talk about that.
I knew because I always know when you're gone because you sit right in front of me.
No, the veto session,
Yes.
I could not believe it.
I was kind of shocked. Not one bill was over.
been there.
Not one bill was override.
Because I was, by the way, I was supposed to be at a news conference at 9:30 because AFL-CIO said, Ken Gidge, we believe you are an individual we want to endorse. So I've been endorsed.
Now I'm going to run some
Wait
by
a minute,
you.
have you been endorsed by the AFL-CIO?
I don't want to be endorsed by the AFL-CIO. Because it's a union, and I don't want you to the people that be in their union money coming to me.
You don't want union.
I don't want union money to pay for my campaign.
So you want the right to work for less law.
I want individual or businesses to donate to my campaign.
Right to work for less law.
No, show me where it's less law. That's not true. People don't believe him or me. Do a research yourself in South Carolina. Look at Texas. Look at Detroit.
Look at Texas.
Detroit is going bankrupt.
Texas.
They now a right to work within the last year or so. Okay, they will come out of bankrupt as a better city, and they will be more productive. And they have a mayor who is Republican. Finally,
if you want to go to Kansas, where there is a Republican governor, there's a House and there's a Senate, and they're going bankrupt because they kept saying, "Hey, we don't think anybody should pay taxes." Yet, who keeps the lights on?
Okay.
Who keeps the roads on? Who keeps the hospitals open? You got to pay for it.
Well, this is why I say
Kansas.
This is why the people in New Hampshire need a stable tax, not going up every year, and you take food off their table, and their quality of life goes out the window.
You know, you brought up a good point before. You said...
Wow, I brought up something good to you?
Well, yeah, you did. For me to hear that you do not want to let college students refinance their loans really surprises me.
Why? Because I'm $127,000 in debt.
Well, then I would really.
I've got 10.
No offense, but you can do simple arithmetic.
He is probably not
Wouldn't
familiar.
you like to refinance your loan?
I took the loans out for my children. I have probably 8 or 10 individual Parent Plus loans that I signed myself. I think it's about 127 or 137. I can't remember. I pay so much money a month for this here, and then when my daughter gets done with her master's, it's going to go up more because I told my children I will do this for them. Now, I would love to refinance them, but I cannot refinance them and force people's taxes to go up because of the money that the Democrats already projected to spend off of that interest. I can't do that. They have to get it somewhere else.
I love how you go and do that, but the problem is a lot of people cannot pay. No, I do not. The
I struggle
college
paying
people
mine every
cannot
month.
pay for these.
I pay over $500 a month.
And even when they go bankrupt, the loans are still on them.
That's right, they're still there. But I'm saying is, I struggle paying mine over $500 a month.
What would be the problem if they refinance it for a longer time, which means they'll probably end up spending the same amount of money?
They will end up doing it. The Republicans want to do it, but they don't want to do it the way the Democrats want it. The Democrats want it. They already projected revenues that's spent off that interest. But Republicans don't want to see us tax somewhere else to make up that cut to refinance.
This
to a lower interest.
This is very this is a very awkward moment
that's the truth.
for me. But this is how.
Do you have college loans?
This is what I've been saying to you.
Are you paying for college loans?
No, I'm not.
Then you don't even know. Then.
What am I?
I am.
This is what I have been saying all along. I love it how. So the reason why you do not want college individuals who have high loans who would like to refinance it, and your reason why, where's your camera? Get the camera on this guy.
Get it on me.
And the reason why you do not want college kids and people to refinance their loans
I didn't want them.
1, 2, 3, go.
Because what you're going to do is you're going to let me refinance my loans and take a break there, but you're going to tax me in another area to make up for the loss. I would rather the Congress, when you pass the bill, which they want, to make cuts in other areas so you're not going to tax me on the revenue, the interest rates that they already spent long term on their projected revenues. You are familiar with projected revenues. Remember the budget a few years ago, the Democrats could not come up with the numbers on the projected revenues to spend. At midnight, they went and called a recess, went into a room, and they came in with more numbers. They pulled out of the sky.
The reason
Do you remember that, Maggie Hassan? You remember that?
The reason why I
Do you remember that, Maggie Hassan?
And I think I've run Bill O'Brien out of here because I interrupted him. He's more sophisticated than both of us.
Right,
okay?
but see, I'm more of a bulldog and know the issues.
Yeah, okay. But I find it so fascinating that here you go with the kids with loans, and
but I told you the fact. I have over 100,000 in loans.
So that's
affects me.
Okay. So that's your reason.
That's
why.
my reason.
So it's okay if they go bankrupt and
you're going to take money out of one pocket, you know, and then you're going to go to the other pocket and get it back.
Nice.
That's what you're going to do.
Nice try.
But it's a fact.
But there are people out there who would like to refinance their loans.
I would love to refinance mine too.
Pay their loans, and then the government is charging them 25%
no, it's not
on
25.
their loans.
That's not true. It's not 25%. That's not true. I have some that are 4. I have some that are direct parent loans through the government. Some are 12. I don't have any 25%. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's up to 12.
And how much are you charged if you don't make your loan on time?
I don't know. I pay it all the time, so I don't know. But but I tell you, I struggle making it because I have to take away something to provide and make sure I will go to my deathbed making sure my kids get educated
when you guys
as
left,
a father.
And there were people who needed a little bit more money to survive until they got a job. It was your organization, the Republican politicians, who said, we will not extend the unemployment.
Because we didn't want to tax them in another area. That's why. What don't you get? You would have to tax somewhere to make up the loss in that revenue.
Let me see. So you're saying you would have to tax.
So
but what about these people who don't have the money?
Do you support taking more money off people's
What about the people who don't have food?
Let me ask you something.
What about the people who can't even use their car to go to work?
We have welfare.
But you?
We have welfare.
I see. So now he's a welfare state person.
We have welfare to give you a hand up. I don't support a hand out.
You know, I may not be feeling well today, but I've got you in about 4 or 5 days. A welfare person?
Yeah. We have a program, welfare, that's designed to give you a hand up. Not a handout to be on it all your life. Just like unemployment. We have a program designed to help you find another job. Not stay on it for the rest of your life like the Democrats want. It's simple. When do you stop digging into people's pockets?
That is not going to work this time around.
Well, that's
because nobody believes that. Nobody believes that the Republicans happen to be the big spenders. When the simple fact of the matter is, you people don't even want to get people who representatives, politicians. Republican politicians don't even want to help those who have college loans.
I live in a very well-to-do community, Londonderry. We have people that are struggling, that are looking for jobs. We have a lot of people in my district, just like Nashua, drive to Massachusetts because they make more money. I want all them people come back. I want those jobs to come here in New Hampshire. I want us to slow down.
So do you think we need education, better education?
No, I think our education is fifth in the country.
And you took how much money away from the University of New Hampshire?
Wait, you asked me a question.
How much money?
First of all, okay, I'll answer both of them.
How much money is going to Channel 11?
I'll answer both of them.
How about Channel 11?
Will you let me answer both of them?
You've got three now. Go ahead.
Okay, now I got three.
All right.
Okay, number one, how much money we took from the college? We took $100 million. And the reason why the chancellor's office has over 100 and something people working in his office. They grew so much. Instead of focusing on education, New Hampshire does a great job. We're the fifth in the country in the best education. Massachusetts was number one.
We're also.
You all support Common Core.
So you took $100 million away, and New Hampshire became one of the most expensive colleges in the United States to go to,
no,
as in state colleges.
That's not true. Before we took the money, New Hampshire was raising their tuition every year after year after year. Okay, we finally forced their hand to freeze tuition. Did we force them to freeze tuition? Did we force them to do a freeze?
Well, they took $100 million
because
away
they
from
were raising every
what about
year.
Channel 11? Don't you think public TV is a good idea?
Public TV.
Yeah, Channel 11.
I don't even. I watch this one, local access channels.
Oh, okay. So you don't watch Channel 11.
No, I don't, because it's taxpayers' money.
And how much?
This one here is run by franchise fees.
I see. So
because the people are paying for this station.
So the programs on Channel 11 are not worth having.
You can have those same programs here.
They're not what?
I don't watch it, so I can't answer that.
Oh, I see.
I don't know what they.
How much money did you cut away from Channel 11?
I don't know.
How about everything?
Yeah, probably because we wanted.
How about everything?
Because we want it to be donated money from the people that want it. Just like here, this is ran by franchise money.
No,
right?
No
Are you paying
channel like Channel 11
taxpayers
can run without state help, but state help is not the only help they get.
Taxpayers,
and we know that.
Can I speak to the taxpayers and not you? Okay, for a second.
Excuse me, I pay taxes.
Taxpayers, your franchise fees that you're paying for, I don't know if you have Comcast here or what, are paying for the studio. Not your taxes that go to your state or your city, okay? So I just want to make sure we understand. This here cable studio is a win-win for the community to get freedom of speech and the message out. But now Channel 11 is a public ed channel. They want public money, your money, force you to pay for that when you could do the same thing here with the franchise fees.
Well, no, you can't.
Why can't you?
Do that. Well,
why
because
can't
you can't do a
Tell me why you
can't do a Ken Burns. I'm sorry, on the Roosevelts. You just
I don't see why you can't
do stuff like that.
A lot of times.
Well, it only costs about $2 million, $3 million to make it.
You can do a lot of these shows right here. I'm just saying.
Ken
you have the
Burns.
cameras. This is the people in this studio do a great job. Would you agree before you cut me off?
Yeah. Well, of course they do.
Okay,
a good
then why are you
job.
going to ready to cut me off
Dan
then?
and Steve, they're wonderful.
That's right.
And who's the other guy? Gagner? Where has he been? I haven't seen him in a while.
No, he's always here.
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
he's
him
not
and Steve,
always here.
Dan, they do a great job here.
Get back to the show.
I don't know what he said, but I don't think it's good for me.
All I'm saying is you want to keep digging into taxpayers' money.
No,
we should not be dependent on government.
You want to know something? The problem with what you say is this.
It's a problem.
Especially because
in your mind, it's a problem.
Public television does more than just the Roosevelts.
How come my
Public
kids never
television
watched
does
it?
a lot
How come
more,
my kids have
let's
never-
say, for children.
I can sit here and tell you my kids have never watched public television.
How many of them have been in jail?
Huh? How many?
Yeah.
None. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm just,
Well, I got one that got in
watching
trouble.
public television.
Yeah.
I know we all get in
You
trouble.
don't have one that got in
Look at
trouble,
us.
you know. But I mean, the bottom line is, my kids, we brought them up right, mom and the dad.
Well, if you don't think, okay, so you don't want to, lower the taxes for people who have student loans, and you don't want to have public TV.
I never said.
And you also do not think that the people who are unemployed should have another 12 weeks of unemployment.
Why do you always put words in my mouth? I never said I don't want to. What I said was, if you're going to cut one area, you've got to come up with the money to fix, so you're not digging me with more taxes.
And
I want government out of my wallet.
Talk about that earlier, about when you guys took the 10 cents and we lost cigarettes, tax off cigarettes. We lost $40 million. So you asked me, how did we not get money back here? And I said, hey, guess what? Mental health, mental illness, and now you're turning around and saying, well, guess what? I don't want this to take place because how is other people going to pay for it? Well, when you take money away, let's say for cigarettes, and it's $40 million, all right, how do you make that money up?
Okay, very simple. Now, I'm gonna go a little slower here because he's a Democrat. He's a little slower than us Republicans. When Bill O'Brien put a trigger on the 10 cents, because what he looked at was our volume of cigarettes was down compared to Massachusetts, Vermont, and Maine.
Oh,
their volume was up.
No, it's not.
Now, he's not listening.
That's not
the
true.
truth.
That's not true.
Don't you ever look at the LBO reports, Legislative Budget Office? You never look at the BO reports?
If Massachusetts is $1 over what we have as tax, our cigarettes are not going to go down. Our sales are going up.
Can you let me finish now? At the time, the gas was, what, $4, almost $4? So for somebody to come from Massachusetts into New Hampshire, the gas was a lot more expensive at the time.
Yeah.
So now let me finish.
One package
Bill
of
O'Brien
cigarettes
said, okay, we have to track because we want our meals and tax, rooms and meals tax to go up. We want our restaurants, people spending money, coming into our hotel. We want them going to see up in the tourist areas. So what he did was he put a trigger on it. He tried it out for a year, okay, I think it was 2 years. Okay, yes, we lost 40, but we ended up with an $80-something million surplus. It paid off. What don't get?
I don't know what you're eating.
What don't you get?
It certainly isn't mushrooms because you'd be a happy person.
Was there a surplus under the budget?
How in the world can you turn around and say things are so well, but now under Maggie Hassan they're so bad? But they're so underwell,
Maggie
so
Hassan
good when you were there.
Is spending like a drunken Marine. Okay, because I've been in other countries, and I want to know because I've been in many countries.
You're a Marine. That's right.
What I'm saying is, she has no respect for transparency or letting us know what she's spending.
I just love how you turn around and say how good it was. Nothing has changed, and how good it is, but yet it's awful.
No, you see, you throw words out there that are incorrect. Even under O'Brien, we weren't done. We were determined to make New Hampshire where people's quality of life did not diminish.
You were done.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
No, we're not. Then watch in November. What are the polls showing?
A super majority.
What are the polls showing here in New Hampshire?
To a minority, you were done.
I want to show you something here. The polls that just came out yesterday.
All right, we have 3 minutes and 25 seconds.
Shaheen is down to Brown. The governor is, I think, 3 points or 4 points above
Shaheen is going to win.
Governor Haverstein.
The governor is going to win. Okay.
I don't see it. I don't see it because people are seeing the real truth. Maggie Hassan is going around the state saying, look what I did for veterans. Oh, all of a sudden she's got this big program, a new jobs program. Where were you 2 years ago like other states? You waited because you used veterans as political pawns.
That's not fair.
That is, but it's true.
That's not true.
Am I a former chairman? Am I a former chairman of State and Federal Relations, Veterans Affairs?
But you know something? You
it's
are.
True.
But the problem is that you can't even look at a simple statistic and say,
no, I agree with that.
You know, it's really good.
I agree. I read that.
It's happened under a Democratic administration.
Because it came out in May. When did that come out? I think April of 2013.
Yes. And
when did your budget? When did we pass your budget? In June of 2013? When did we pass your budget? When the Democrats took back over, when did we pass your budget? When did it take effect?
No. I got a question.
When did your budget take effect?
How many people have gone to the Speaker of the House and said that you bullied them?
Oh, quite a few.
Quite a few.
Quite a few.
All right, there you go. But you can't bully me.
But can you answer my question? That came out, I think it was April or May.
Has Maggie Hassan done anything good for the state of New Hampshire?
Has she done anything good?
Has Jeanne Shaheen done anything good for the state of New Hampshire?
Let me put it this way here. Jeanne Shaheen is a commercial is saying
has the President of the United States done anything good for the country, and which would come down to the state of New Hampshire?
Well, the President, I heard he's a good golfer. I think that's great. He's teaching other kids motivated for golf.
So that's their spin. It's golf.
Look at Benghazi.
So he's done.
Look at Benghazi. Look at the mess he has in Iraq. Look at the mess he has in Iraq.
Look at Iraq.
Look at their Afghanistan.
Excuse me.
Their mess.
Excuse me. You don't like to talk about Bush, but Bush was the one who went into Iraq.
Because Obama is the president for the last 5 years. Look at the mess he's got us in. Okay, look at the mess. I don't. Democrats and Republicans aren't happy.
That's not going to work. I'll tell you what. We have 1 minute left. How can they get in touch with you?
You can reach me at www.albaldessaro.com, or you can call me on my home phone, 425-6997. Stop by my house. I live in 41 Hall Road in Londonderry.
And you are taking donations for medication. There we go.
No donations whatsoever. I have insurance.
Right, okay. My name is Ken Gidge, and I really shouldn't have done the show today.
He's lying.
I'm coming down with a cold or something like that. But look, I have a hard time with Republicans. They have a hard time with me. But always at the end, and I'm going to do it right now.
How can you tell when a Democrat's lying?
You know,
his lips are moving.
So you can get in touch with me by going to Ken Gidge. I'll just email me at kgidge@aol.com. You can Google me, Ken Gidge, and there's a whole history. Also, you can go to a website called Gidge World, which means that's an art website. You can also get me at 888-235-5603. Thank you very much.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.